WCR, what's your favorite scary movie?
Hello and a happy belated 4th of July to all uncensored horror hounds out there ready to get hooked again? Question mark? Hi, welcome to Uncensored Horror, where you have two of the groovy ghoulies here, myself and the lovely Miss Katie McCarthy, are here. After much anticipation, we are here. We are ready to dive into the depths, I guess, of drama and trauma, as Jamie Lee Curtis would say, trauma, and to really dig up the past, because if we've learnt one thing, you leave a man for dead, you gotta make sure he's really dead, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
We are here this week to discuss 2025's I Know What You Did Last Summer. Now, today's show will, as always, be full of spoilers. I'm not even going to deny that we are full of spoilers, though. If you're on social media or TikTok and you see anything about this movie and you don't want to be spoiled, turn it off straight away, flick past it, whatever. But we will be discussing the movie in depth today. I am giving you this warning, because it is week of release, and I know some people are still waiting to see it. And I don't want to be the one that spoils it, because I hate that.
I'll spoil it for you. That's all right.
No, we'll both spoil it for you, because we're gonna talk about it. Now, obviously, we saw it in cinemas.
We did. And
we did.
Opening weekend at that.
I actually saw it before it was released in the US. We got it early here. We got it early here in Australia. We got it a day early as well. We got a preview screening the night before official release, and the official release was the next day, and then that was the day after was the American release date. So Australia got it way earlier. I can only think that might be because of the local production aspect, maybe, that it was some kind of, agreement in the clause that Australia got a little bit of exclusivity, because, spoiler alert, part of it was filmed here in Australia, which was very fun to spot Australia versus LA.
Yeah.
Quite obvious if you are an Aussie. But it's a fun movie. It's always fun to do that. Or like, are we in Canada? Are we in Eastern Europe somewhere that's pretending to be New York? Like, it's always fun to do that. But this one was fun to do it. And yeah. Shall we dive in?
Let's dive in.
Shall we dive in? Now,
Good.
Nostalgia straight away. Straight away. Opening credits were nearly exactly the same as the first movie.
So,
kind of still shot.
I was looking for this nostalgia factor, because I went in going, this is going to be fun. It's going to be a fun trip back to Southport. Immediately, I am annoyed. The second those actors opened their mouth, I was done. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Okay, well, we'll talk about it.
We'll get more into it, but
we will get more into it.
And it didn't really. I understand this is 90s versus 2025, but I was not getting these kind of vibes in 97. That obviously it's a tourist town. People are probably going to be middle to upper class, but man, I did not get those vibes when we visited Southport in the 90s.
We'll talk about it. Well, I'm going to tell you now. I've already seen this twice now.
Oh, okay.
I went today before we shot.
Okay.
I was feeling, because I've had conversations, people, when new movies come out, I get random messages from people I haven't spoken to in years, because they know that we do this. They know that we do this. They know that I will see it. And like, what do you think of this and this and this and this and this? And I'm like, okay, let me sit with it. Because what happened is I went with a friend. I don't usually go, and this is maybe a bit of a, tells you more about my life than anything else. I usually go to movies alone now. Like, I'm usually a lone ranger, so I can focus on what's going on. But my best friend, who is of our generational ilk, mine and Luke's anyway, she was like, are we seeing this? I'm like, I was going, so if you want to come along, let's do it. So she got away from her two children, and 7:30 Wednesday night session. And to my surprise, people kept coming and coming.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what? Usually on these Wednesday night previews, because it's midweek, it's not that busy, but there were just people. And the demographic of these people were older than me. And probably late 20s, mid to late 20s, 20s, 30s, 40s, and older. And older. And I was just surprised that I always get a bit about seeing horror movies in the cinema because, you know, teenagers suck. But
right.
I was lucky. And then I went this afternoon at a really weird time on a Sunday afternoon. I went to a 3:30 p.m. session. And it was literally me, two couples, and some weird old guy at the back. So it was, I wanted to make sure that what I experienced was what I experienced. And I was actually able to sit there and I took notes this time. So this is
you showed me your notes. You came prepared today.
I have conversation. All right, so let's get into the conversation about the movie. So it is July 4th, 2024, and Ava Bruck returns home to Southport, North Carolina for the engagement party of her friends Danica and Teddy. We also run into Milo, who is
delicious.
Ava's ex-boyfriend, you know, ex-flame.
Oh.
Now.
Yes, and ex-boyfriend.
This is going to sound bad.
Okay.
I didn't realize that the chick playing Ava Bruck, so what's her name? Chase Sue Wonders.
Yeah.
You know who was originally supposed to play that part?
Who?
It was Camila Mendes.
You know, I thought for a really quick second it was Camila Mendes because I'm looking at her.
I thought it was for the entire film, and I'm like, wow, she's really changed her voice, and like, because I was a Riverdale person, so I was like, oh, she's really changed her voice and everything, and I'm like, I just kept looking at her, I went, that is so not her, you idiot. You know that she's not in this movie because she had to leave this movie to do Masters of the Universe.
So I'm staring at this girl, and I'm like, I know this face. I know this face. Who is she? Where have I seen her? And I was like, oh, it's Camila Mendes, and then I was like, wait, no, it's not.
Wait, no, it's not.
No, it's not. So look it up. She was in Bodies. That's why I know.
There you go.
And I really
she's
like
very,
Bodies.
They look really similar. They could be sisters. They could play
do.
sisters,
It's
right?
creepy. It's creepy. When actors look so much alike that you can't tell them apart, it really freaks me out.
It took me a long ass time. I
like her though.
To decide.
I liked her. I thought she was a good lead woman. She did great.
So we are at this highbrow party. Highbrow. Yes. Danica.
To me, she was supposed to be like a mix of like Sabrina Carpenter and who am I thinking of?
She looks a little bit what's her name? Amanda Seyfried.
Yes,
a little bit.
Yes. So Sabrina Carpenter and Amanda Seyfried. That's who she gave me.
But she was serving upper class Helen Shivers a little bit.
Yes.
Like,
she gave those vibes. Yes.
She gave those vibes. And as you said, the dissonance between what we know Southport as and what Southport has become is very interesting. this is where I think we're going to start to see the fact that there was an original script and then the script was rewritten.
Yes.
And sitting there today taking notes, I was like, like a lot of pennies dropped because I was watching the film, like actually taking it in. But the introduction to all these characters, very cool. Teddy, that's a handsome man.
Teddy is
that is a handsome. That's Ryan. Look, and kind of Ryan Felipe energy too, without the asshole.
I literally said the same thing because I went with my bestie, who is not usually a horror connoisseur as myself, but she needed a night out, so she decided to tag along. And I was telling her, kind of explaining who these characters were supposed to be channeling, and I said, he's got this energy, but he's a lot nicer than the original character. Damn near wholesome, I may say.
Yeah, and then we have, the Ray counterpart, which kind of the same, but we'll get more onto Ray later in the piece. Watching this again, and when I had this conversation with you at the end of the movie, I'm hoping it might make people think a different way about it. Second time, I went, all right, let's just take this at face value. If this wasn't a legacy movie from a movie that we've been waiting nearly 30 years for, would I be interested in these characters? And at the beginning of this, yes, I'm interested.
Yes,
because they are good actors.
Yes,
which is rare, in the modern, and we've said it in Scream as well. Finding a core cast of really good actors is really important. And I think that they nailed it with these four. And then we also meet Stevie, who she seems a little bit older than them, but I think in general, we've got to remember that the first lot of, it's the first time we meet characters in the original. They're high school students. These are post-college, right?
Yes.
Post-college students.
They're at least 21 because they're drinking. So they're post-college.
Exactly. They're young adults, and Milo works in politics or something.
Yes, he's got a political job. They don't say what, and it's just political.
No. And they also start to sprinkle in the fact that Teddy is Nepo baby, real estate development mogul child. So
Empire.
Empire. I'm just impressed you called it an empire.
I liked that answer. Like, he just didn't miss me. He's like, just really impressed you called it an empire.
And do you know what? I think that they've done I think it's obvious that cast gelled well because it felt like they did have history. Like, I don't know. Everyone in this movie, in that core little part, gives me the feeling that they're like a core of bisexual friends, and everyone slept with everyone because Milo and Teddy had like a bit of a weird bromance thing going on. He called him daddy and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, okay. And then even Danica and Ava are a little bit like, oh. And then later on, Stevie and Danica, it's like, maybe that's just the way kids are these days. Everyone's just a bit more fluid. I
love that. I love that. That's not the part that bugged me. That doesn't bug me at all.
We're down. And I am down with this when they, meet up with Stevie, whose life had gone down the toilet since high school, and her dad stole money, etc. She went to rehab. It's all believable, and they are believable as a group of friends. What I do like is when a legacy movie or a sequel that knows its backstory will fake you out. And as soon as they were on the road, I was like, oh, shit, that was really quick. Oh, it's not an accident yet. That's fine. I was like, okay, that's cool. Funny, haha. The accident was different.
The accident was different.
I didn't expect to go to, not to make a pun already, to veer left so quickly. Veer left and through the guardrail. But it made it more interesting that they were all responsible for the car that nearly hits Teddy going over. Like, well, they're all trying to stop the car. The car goes. They're all implicated because their fingerprints are all on the car.
Right.
You know? I was like, oh, okay.
But I also was thinking, as soon as he goes, okay, I'm going to call, and he says, the police and the paramedics are on their way. I'm like, well, that's a step in the right direction from the last movie, because they just ran off. So at least they're trying to get this guy help.
Exactly. And, you know, it was it was very reminiscent, you know, whereas the first movie was a moral question about covering up a murder. This is technically not a murder. I know he was in the middle of the road.
Right.
But, you know, the question of their responsibility is negligible, but the fact that the evidence would put them at the scene. And the one thing that annoyed me that never showed up again, Teddy's shirt.
Oh, I guess I didn't notice that.
His shirt gets hit. The guy, the whoever's in the car comes to, breaks the window, grabs Teddy. He steps out of his shirt. The car goes over the edge. And we never see Teddy's shirt again.
But you know what I thought was, and granted they have to make it so that they're getting set up to get stalked or whatever, but
yeah,
they could have just admitted they were there. They could have said, hey, we came upon this guy going over the edge. We tried to help him. And it's a totally reasonable explanation as to why your fingerprints are all over everything.
But I think the thing that they've missed out on is that we didn't explicitly know that person was dead. When they were leaving, there was a possibility of that person, or well, Ava thinks that person could still be alive. Ava's the driving force, and let's face it, Ava's the Julie James of this.
Ava is Julie James, yes.
And she is the one that's like, no, we're doing the wrong thing. But the agreement of them all to leave is very centric and, you know, of the genre, as we will say. But them going back when Danica doesn't take them to the police, and they go back to Teddy's house. We're shifting again, you know. We don't have the pressure of the police. They're just going to take this secret, the fact that they were there, not to their grave though. They're just never going to speak of it. They're never going to speak of it again. Fair enough. We walk away, and then it's a year later, as tends to be in this movie. Now, we talked about it in the first review, the difference between Julie then and Julie now in the current day. I don't think we got enough evidence or outward evidence of trauma for any of those characters. They talk about it, but they don't show it. Right.
And as you said, you can tell within this movie that there was an original script and there was a rewrite. To me, this is where the new script starts. Right here at this moment.
Yeah. Because I like that they're still doing the red herring thing, though. Obviously, Tyler, she's giving bad girl energy. She's giving that kind of Denise Richards sexy bisexual 90s noughties energy. That's how she goes. I like Tyler. I wanted more.
Okay. As I stated, the second these kids opened their mouth, I was annoyed. But it wasn't so bad until a year later. And then this makes me sound like Abe Simpson screaming at a cloud. Okay, but like
kids these days.
Like, everyone makes fun of millennials, but we don't sound like this. No. Like, these are supposed to be full-blown adults, and they're talking like they're teenagers, like they're young kids. And that, to me, was giving, this is trying way too hard to reach an audience that maybe you shouldn't be aiming at.
Thank you. The tone, I've got here written in my notes a few times, tone, question mark, tone, question mark.
And it also gave to me, like, it wanted to be screamed so badly.
Let's be really pinpointy. It wanted to be Scream 3 meets Scream 5. It wanted to have the meta knowledge of its predecessor, but it also wanted to have snappy, haha, which I know last summer didn't have.
It didn't, and this one didn't.
No.
It tried, like it was just
It
trying
tried.
so
But that
hard.
was the thing.
It wasn't hitting. Like if it kept the tone of like the first half an hour of the movie, I think it could have been a really, really solid movie. And you can still be snappy and still have your like cute little lines. Like the Nepo Baby Emperor, that was funny. Him saying, "Oh, I love you guys. I love you guys so hard. You make my dick hard." Like that was funny. Like, and it wasn't like trying so
pause
hard.
Not pause for joke, like pause for reaction moments,
Right.
which mainly come out of Danica.
And Danica's like
she's really good. Like that actress is so good, but the tone, that's what.
It really.
I needed to see, because think about the first one. We see bright, shiny, happy teens. The year later, we see the effect that what had happened had on them.
Right.
They're telling, and we have this conversation a lot on this show as well, and on assigned seating. They're telling us, they're not showing us. And I think, as you said, they're shooting for a demographic that this movie might not be for. You know, this movie should be aimed at the people that saw the original. And if it appeals to other people, yeah, it will. And it will, because the original is a 90s classic slasher. And I think that they should have relied on it a bit more.
And the thing is with Gen Z is I think they look for a certain authenticity within movies, within people. And they can really kind of like, they'll tell you, like, you know, you're being really phony. I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I think this generation...
They'll tell us when we're cringe or not.
Right. And to me, that's really cringy, like that they're trying so hard. And I feel like they probably say the same thing, like, you're trying... It's like Steve Buscemi in the teen outfit.
Hello, local
young
teens.
Children? Yeah. Like, it's very inauthentic.
Very energy.
Yeah, that can...
It's like, it's like someone of the older generation trying to write someone of the younger generation.
Yep.
But it came off cringy. Anyway, enough about us complaining of being old people. Let's get to the story.
My friend said the same thing. She goes, "You're just old."
The engagement party was another red herring, because we were to believe, you know, we left things. Danica and Teddy were getting married. They were at another engagement party?
Yes.
Okay. The Aperol Spritz bar, that, like, watching that again, like, oh, there's just so many things that would make this movie better if they cut it, and most of it's the jokes.
Yes.
Watching it today, most of it is the jokes.
The diva.
Yeah, like, the diva, the whole diva thing.
Please stop.
And I wanted to feel a little bit more tension, because, and I've got tension written a few times in my notes. The tension between Julie and Ray, the tension between Julie and Helen, the tension between Julie and Barry was palpable. You know, these people, you could tell that Helen missed her best friend, and Julie was just trying to shut off the past. And with everyone, with all of them, I needed a little bit more of that from Ava. If Ava's the Julie of it all, there should have been that awkwardness. It kind of just felt like that wasn't really there.
I will say this about the bridal shower scene. This is the scene that kind of it wasn't even a red herring for me. It was it kind of turned on, like, got my like feelers up.
Pay attention.
And it's like, that's suspicious.
That's suspicious.
I think
what I did like is that they did use that red herring thing a bit, though, because even watching the first one, there are a couple of people that they want you to think might have something to do with it.
Oh, absolutely. And when we get to that scene,
they do that here as well.
Yes.
They do that here as well, which is good. But we get, of course, the iconic note. I heard you last summer. Very cute. Very cute, very cute. And we find out that they all looked up information about the person who went over the cliff by the name of Sam Cooper. Now, the internet, and again, this is something, watching it on a second viewing, it picked up more, and it needed to kind of probably be stated a bit more. The tone is so conversational sometimes that you miss it. You just think they're talking, and you miss certain plot points. Like when they said, yeah, he had no family, and later on when Grant is talking and Teddy's talking about Grant and how everything about the past of Southport was scrubbed off the internet. They let that go in passing. I think it needed to be more because it means more down the like these throwaway comments mean more down the line. But we get to look, I really like this first kill. It was really, really good. Very reminiscent of Scream 5 and Jenna Ortega. I think. But imagine if this hadn't been in the trailer.
Was the whole kill in the trailer though? I thought it was just like the one, and it was actually cut differently.
Yeah, it was cut differently, but it was in the trailer. If that hadn't been in the trailer, I think people would be more shocked too, because we've got to remember we look at these movies with nostalgia. You remember them more violent than they were. Because what I did the night before I saw it the first time, I watched the first two back to back and then went to the third. And I was like, oh, okay. But this is more violent. This is blood. This is more cruel, this one, I think, in certain points. Definitely more cruel.
Oh, it's definitely just cruel in general. I mean, and we'll get to that. But I was still kind of shocked. Like, I knew something was going to happen because of the trailer. And I went in pretty blind with this. Like, I think I watched the trailer once and then left it alone because I wanted to really enjoy this. Yeah. And yeah, this one was brutal. And I feel like the rest of the kills, while they are violent, this one is really like you feel the hate in this one. You feel the anger.
Exactly. And he was probably the most innocent person. You're like, oh, okay.
He's
poor dude.
I did not care about his death. I mean, it was like, oh, that sucks, dude, but I didn't care about it.
But the one thing that they should have done that I picked up today, his body should have been in the man cabana that he was renovating. Like that would have made sense. You know, he's fixated on it because it makes sense. This movie makes so much more sense on a second viewing.
I'll have to watch
so much more sense. And then you piece together what's what and why. And you've got to think that these characters represent all the excess and of the gentrification of Southport. So, of course, they're a target. But for me, when the group are having that conversation about, you know, someone knowing their secret and et cetera, the paranoia, we should start to feel it now. This is where we should start to feel it. They're writing it off as just some psycho. I mean, still, someone broke into your house and murdered someone while you were upstairs. You should be more traumatized.
And it alludes to it like, how did I not hear it? Like, lean into that, baby. Yeah. That's what you need to do.
Lean it, yeah. Act. Like, a good director would have gotten that out of her, I think. A good, and just the tone. Like, she's supposed to be traumatized and having these nightmares. She doesn't look like she's missed a day of sleep in her life.
Stress-induced alopecia with a full head of hair.
Yeah. But there's no tension between them either. Like,
no.
Even when Teddy's there, like, you know, Danica suspected Teddy wrote the note, but once they're all there, Grant's cleaning up the mess again to, you know, look after his son, even though he had nothing to do with it. But there needed to be more.
Yes.
But such and such, whatever. This is where we get the suspect that may be Tyler, ?
Can I just state for the record, I never suspected Tyler.
I didn't either. She's obviously she's the obvious red herring. She's the Johnny Galecki moment, you know? She's the Johnny Galecki.
Well, let's touch on that for a second, because at least Johnny Galecki seemed sketchy. Like, he was
Yeah.
complete, like, they really kind of played into that red herring thing with him. You really did suspect him. She wasn't suspicious for a minute to me. Like, it didn't even cross my mind that it could be her. That's just how insignificant her character was here. Like, it's obvious they were trying to, like, put the blame over there, but nothing worked.
What I did like is when we start to get little flashbacks. So when Danica saw the note, she had a flashback to the accident.
Mm-hmm.
We needed more of that. And
Yes.
we needed it here. We needed it here. Because when she was taking her on the murder tour and we went to, what's it called? Something house. I want to say Soho House, but that's not right. That's a club in LA.
We went to the,
Yeah.
right. I know what you're talking about here.
They went to the former Shivers department store.
Mm-hmm.
Why did we not have a flashback to something in there?
Mm-hmm.
You know, why did we not see Helen running to the doors? Why did we not see Elsa looking out the door? Like, just little shock
Mm-hmm.
moments, which they use throughout this movie. They needed it here because my whole thing for this part, it is so bright. It's so bright. It's so well lit that there is no tension. Like, they're trying. Like, when she leans in and, like, she's talking about Julie James and she leans in and says, I know what we did last summer, and she has her little moment.
Mm-hmm.
At least kill the lights. Like, you're going into an empty restaurant in the middle of the day. First of all, in the middle of the day, empty restaurant with all the lights on. And then the fisherman just shows up. He's like, hi.
Also,
Like, no. Some tension.
I really, really, really hated the Helen shirt. On her.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, for you and me, yes. That works for, like, I would buy that shirt. Yes. I think it's great. But I think on her, it doesn't work. If, like, Danica was wearing it, maybe.
Okay. Stay with me.
I'm with you.
On second viewing, when we know what we know,
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense. Because she's selling that shirt. She's profiting
Aha.
off the misery. You know?
Okay.
The big issue, the big thing that I don't think they drove home enough, and they needed to, I think they need, if they were going to knock us on the head with anything, was that we needed the gentrification storyline, we needed the erasure of the past and the disrespect of what happens in 97 to be more focused on.
That would have made sense
And
if she was like, you like the shirt and hung out on my website.
Yeah. For the new cast to be really tied to the characters of the old cast. And it's going to come up later. But I did like that we got nods, you know, the elevator, the hand elevator. That was cool. There was one, and I still laugh today. She said, I hate it here. I'm like, yeah, I hate it here too. Maybe for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't fuck with Ava. Okay, Ava's not a wilting flower.
No.
You know, Ava doesn't run much. Ava attacks, and the only reason that Ava gets one up is because she gets caged, which I didn't see coming. You know.
Well, you know, despite all her rage, she is still just a rat.
She's still just a questionable bisexual in a cage.
or
We've all been there. I mean, we've all been there.
Who didn't?
We've all been there. But I did. I also look, and the other thing that did make me laugh. Text don't get murdered. I'm like, okay, that's funny. That was funny that you have a group chat called "Don't Get Murdered."
I rolled my eyes. I was just like, be so for real right now.
But it didn't take me out of it that much. I was like, that's a funny joke.
It doesn't take you out of it, but it's like it's. And then just one more cringy thing this movie did, because who the fuck would do that? Like, I listen. I am all about dark humor. I will joke about every horrible thing that has happened to me, but I will never name a group chat. Don't get murdered, or don't kill yourself or anything like that. It's just it's just so ridiculous. I want this movie to just to like put your quips in there, but when they make sense, not just to be edgy or ooh. Because listen, Gen Z, you can have your dark humor all you want, but you will never have dark humor like a millennial. You can't. It is just not. It's just not something you're capable of.
What they did do with this movie that they didn't really do with the other two, more creative uses of the hook.
True. Very true.
This Fisherman is very creative. Maybe Ben Willis was just too one-dimensional, but like very different ways of using this hook. And we did have the Casey Becker moment. You know.
I mean, and there's a reason for that. But also, going back to the beginning, did you catch the sign when they're walking into the engagement party?
What did it say?
It said something along the lines of "hooked a good one" or something like that.
Yeah, hooked a good one. It does say that. Yeah, very, very. See, meta.
I liked that. I liked.
It would have made more, but it would have made more sense if they were fishermen or related to fishing, but they're not.
But they're a fishing town, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I get it.
And like that, I liked that. That was tasteful. That's funny to me.
I did like the reveal that once Ava got out and was safe with Stevie, that Tyler's body fell from, and that was cool. I was like, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, that one kind of startled me. Like,
body.
There it is.
Yeah, the jump scares were a little bit effective in this, I've got to say.
Mm-hmm.
So Southport PD are back on the case and basically covering everything up? Question mark?
Mm-hmm.
Because Grant is too worried about tourism on July 4th. It sounds like another movie.
Very Mayor in Jaws-esque.
Yeah, I know. Worst one in the world,
And yet they elected him again.
Yeah, look. Ava has done her due diligence. She's done her final girl thing. She slashed the fisherman and slammed his head in that door. My God, I don't know how you would have gotten away so quickly. That would have fucking killed. But she's taken first blood. Well, she's taken first blood, which usually takes a little while longer in these movies. But we're not fucking with Ava. No. This is where we get our moment, and what I called our Scooby-Doo moment, because it's very Scooby-Doo. We got to split up. We needed that. I think that would have been a funnier joke. Like, that would have been a funnier joke. Like, what happens in Scooby-Doo when this, like, something like that. Something really random.
Scooby-Doo would have hit perfectly.
Right? Freddie Prinze Jr. We got it. Yeah, we got to get there. But Ava is the one that seeks out Ms. Julie James.
Maybe I'm just partial, but she's my favorite character in this.
I think everyone loves her a little. Everyone loves love. And
yes.
Seeing Julie back, she's Julie from the get-go. She's got that kind of snarky humor when she's teaching her class in PTSD, and again, maybe a little bit more that she's a psychologist and like worked in psychology, and more about the role of PTSD and what trauma does to people.
Trauma.
Hit us over the head like Jamie Lee Curtis wanted to. Like, make it make sense, because it does make sense on the second viewing. It's all there. It's just not. It's like reading. Oh, here we go. It's like reading a sentence with bad punctuation.
Yes. It's
all there. It's just not punctuated properly.
And
it's like, I'm watching it the second time, like, oh, it's there. What people are commenting about not being there is actually there, if you can take away the fact that you're watching from a nostalgia point of view. Just watch the movie for what it is. It is actually all there. Everything that comes up in the movie is there. It's just not punctuated properly.
Because when she comes on the scene, it's obvious. It's obviously that she is.
We hear the Julie whispers. She has a little moment, and the torn photo of her, Barry, and Helen with Ray not in the picture.
Yeah, I caught that.
That's
like, wait a second.
That speaks enough for us, I think. Like, we got the picture. Okay, Ray's literally not in the picture for some reason. And Julie is advises Ava. She's like, you know what? Kill or be killed. Get them before they get you.
Mm-hmm.
And that she's literally being the textbook.
See, that picture was a red flag for me. I'm like,
Let's talk about it. Because it wouldn't have hurt to have Ray a little bit earlier.
I also want to comment that both original cast members have aged beautifully. They look wonderful. You feel good seeing them. That nostalgia factor is there.
Yeah, I feel like if we got Ray a little bit earlier, it would have also fixed a couple of things that happened later in the movie.
You'll have to explain that to me because I'm not because I wasn't upset with his timing.
I think it would just, if we got a little bit more time with him, not with that core five, or just with Stevie, as things were about to happen, like, you know, Ray before the or when the murders start to happen, and then when they come to him and go,
maybe like when she's saying, "Oh, my boss is bartending," just like get a quick shot of him so we know he's there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, something like that. Just a little bit more Ray, a little bit earlier. That's all I would have. Yeah.
Okay.
So Julie tells them they've got to find Sam, or whoever was connected to Sam, because it's always, you know, someone, you know, like in Scream, they're always around the periphery.
Mm-hmm.
Ray's reaction to them going to Julie was quite funny. You were married to Julie, James, unfortunately. I'm like, well, hold up.
Yeah.
You were the knight in shining armor, or everyone wanted us to believe you were the knight in shining armor, and I have more to say about that as well. This is
I do too.
This is going to be a long review.
I have some feelings here about this whole thing, but let's keep moving.
We need to keep moving. Yeah,
yes.
we're getting dug down. Mm-hmm. So this is where they go looking after we get the iconic Ray entrance at the town meeting, because the young cast is starting to rebel against Grant and the sanitization of what's happened to Southport.
Mm-hmm.
And Ray is the literal embodiment of that. And I think, again, more of that would have really, really helped. Mm-hmm. You know, because we're getting rid of the fact that this was you can see it in the first movie. It's not an affluent area. It's a struggling, working class fishing village.
That's
what got gentrified.
Right, and that's kind of what threw me off, because 90s fishing town.
Make more of it. Make more of it is what I'm saying. Like,
right, and
let it be part of the story.
Right. Just it's touristy, but year round these people are working class. It's a fishing town.
Yeah.
The fact that they have made it so like upper class, just really kind of like gentrification. Yes, but even so, that's extreme. Like it's to this end of the gentrification, instead of like, okay, working class.
But it is what happens. And I can just talk about my hometown. There are areas that you used to be like, oh, I'm not going there, that now have multi-million-dollar houses in them because they've decided this is the new hot area to live. We're going to build it up. We're going to make it happen because the money's there, the infrastructure's there, and the more that you make, I think we needed more about corporate greed and gentrification and all of that, just in a little bit. It could have been perfect in the murder tour. The murder tour should have been longer than one location. We could have seen what Southport used to look like, what Southport looks like now, and why there's a difference. You know,
but
that would have made a bit more sense.
It's almost 30 years later, so I'm really kind of not giving it enough credit that it probably did happen over time, and we're just not seeing it.
Exactly, so because we have the nostalgia goggles on, you know. It's
right, and that really is the problem. I'm not seeing that. It's 30 years later. It probably did evolve slowly over time. It just seems extreme to me because of the time.
Think about your own hometown. So much has changed since your childhood, right? So much has changed since my childhood, where I used to live. But businesses. But the businesses that used to be there aren't necessarily the businesses that are there now, or they are completely gone, or something else has popped up in there. Yeah. This is where we get the introduction, a little bit too late, of Father Judah, who is the, town's, oh, sorry, pastor. I was Australia. Pastor
okay.
Judah, church leader, and saving the soul of the gentle folk of Southport. Maybe a bit more disdain for Judah would have been interesting.
He gave me an ick.
He did give me an ick too, and again, red herring, you know.
Oh, 100% red herring, but he gave me an ick. Like I looked at him like he's very attractive.
Yeah,
and then
you got to watch those hot pastors.
Well, not all of them, but like his vibe was off. Like I'm like, oh, that's a good looking guy, and then he just started talking like, oh, you are totally hooking up with your the people who go to your church's kids. That's like
a little bit icky
going on here. It's he gave me a very predator vibe.
Yeah. So this is where we do another split up. Ava, Milo, and Stevie go to find the car, which again I missed it on the first run that the car that Sam was driving was Judah's car.
Oh, I got
I missed it.
So
I missed it. I was obviously too worried about something else. And this is where I think we had a big miss. The graveyard.
That whole scene was completely unnecessary.
I don't think it was. I think it was just poorly executed. Because if Danica is Helen, right? Going to that gravesite should mean more, and that would inform something that's coming up very soon. You know, I think they missed a big thing there. Of
I don't think cutting that out. You could have put her anywhere to get attacked, but the cemetery was so because it had no meaning to it. Like you said, like it needed to mean more, and it didn't, and that's why it's completely unnecessary. It could have been right back at the department store. It could have been anywhere.
Yeah. But I did like that when she started to get chased. It was very reminiscent of that chase scene.
Yes.
She takes her shoes off. Like it was kind of half ticking boxes when they needed to be a heavy tick.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe shaded it a little bit different for some of them. Because why would Teddy leave her alone?
Right. Why would she go with him? Why?
Yeah, exactly.
My next question is, why is the Croaker Queen stuff in storage in a cemetery? Yeah.
That's a question too. That's I don't really know much about town floats and whatnot, but it was cool. It was eerie, but again, it could have been eerier. Too well lit for my liking, again.
Mm-hmm.
But the jump scares of the hooks going through things and her looking like she was going to get it then.
Yeah.
And
then Teddy and all his manpower. Boom.
Yeah.
it just like came out of nowhere, just tackles him. Like, oh, okay, that worked.
Yeah, look. Okay, saved. We go back to Julie. Scream 5, anyone?
Mm-hmm.
But well done. And when she walks past, this is me maybe just being really particular.
Mm-hmm.
When she walked past the kitchen bench, it looks very much like the kitchen bench from Halloween that moves. It looks very similar to the kitchen. I was like, I could be wrong, but it looks like it to me. Her reaction to the stranger at the door being Ray was pretty funny. I was like, okay, cool. They are definitely exes. But
Mm-hmm.
I think we missed a little tip because Jennifer does Wounded well. We know that Jennifer Love Hewitt made her dollars and Party of Five and Ghost Whisperer with Wounded and Tears in the Eyes. The whole discourse between her and Ray is that Ray is obsessed with the past, literally stuck in Southport, will not leave Southport, and Julie has dealt with her trauma and moved on and away from Southport, from what happened to them, from Ray himself.
Mm-hmm.
Heavier. a bit more, maybe. That could just be me. It could just be me, but I would have liked it a little bit more. Like, you can tell that they were exes, but I would have liked it a bit heavier. I really wanted this movie to be darker than it was.
Yes, and I would have liked to know why they broke
up. Psychological horror.
It hints on it. It hints on it. But, like, I think if you kind of played into, like, your refusal to deal with your trauma is what tore us apart in the first place. Like, really all you needed. Because it goes there. It just doesn't go there.
It doesn't go there. And as I just said, I think I wanted this to be a psychological horror movie.
I wanted it to be dark,
it would have made more.
It needed to be darker. It needed to be darker, like the original. This one is just trying way too hard to be meta. It's trying way too hard to be Scream, and just not
tone.
Yeah, it's not
tone. So anyway, Danica is back at Teddy's house. Teddy's dad is looking after everything. They are all locked down in that very fancy house. I wish my house had automatic doors. So many automatic doors in that house. It's not okay. Milo and Ava have a very awkward S&M moment when they try to hook up.
That to me was also really weird. Like, what are you doing? What is that? Like, what does that bring to this scene? Except just to they're trying.
Yeah, well, they're trying to. I think they're trying to go. Oh, she's damaged. Isn't she damaged? She wants to be punished.
No, hold on a second.
They're telling us, not showing us. Again,
this was very sex shamey to me because he's all weirded out by it. You don't have to be traumatized to be into rough stuff.
No, exactly.
It's totally fine. You could be shiny and happy and just like a little kink in your sex. That's cool. Do whatever you want to do as long as everyone is consenting and having fun. That's what's important here. This was just way too, I'm so damaged. Now I'm into kinky sex.
Yeah, exactly. And then even Milo's death. Milo's the first one of our core cast to die. A little bit of a non-event. But my biggest problem was just the way the aftermath was shot. Ava's calling him. We know he's dead. Like, we didn't need to see the phone light up his face. Like, you could have just done that as a message tone, and we know he's dead. We know that the killer picks up the phone. It was just weirdly paced. There's some weird pacing issues as well with how stuff happens. So Milo is gone. No Milo for anyone. Mm-hmm. Strangled to death and taken care of.
That was the most brutal death for me.
That was brutal. The neck snapping was like, oh, okay.
Like, oh yeah, whoa.
A lot of rage there. You know, a lot of rage there.
You felt the anger in that one.
Yeah.
Like, that to me, the fiance and Milo's death were the most, like, you felt the anger there. And I'll touch upon this again when we get to the next few deaths.
when we get to some reveals that are going to come very, very soon. So the next scene is Ava and Danica going to Father Judas, which was meant to be the Anne Heche moment, right?
Yes.
We've entered the enemy territory. Nervousness. Kind of, I feel like, again, pacing a little too late in the game for it.
This also felt very forced.
Yeah, there's too much story.
It's trying to do what the original did, but not getting there. Like you said, this is the Anne Heche moment, but it's forced. It's not like a natural kind of, we know who Anne Heche is to the killer. So that feels like a natural progression. This is like, the truck was registered to him. We have to go check it out. That should have happened immediately after.
Exactly. And then we would have known that Sam and Judah knew each other. The car thing would have made more sense, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They go to the police station and they are detained at the behest of Grant because they're causing too much trouble.
Mm-hmm.
They're causing too much trouble, which, you know, is all good. All right, we got to go there.
Yep.
Let's talk about the dream sequence.
This could have worked so well.
a very big cop out because we all know that, you know, dream sequences are the way to do things when you can't do things logically.
Am I happy to see Helen?
I don't give
Absolutely.
a fuck. When I saw the back of her, when I saw the back of that woman, I went, get fucked. I'm like, and my friend's like, it's not. And I'm like, grabbing her arm, like, and then she turns around, and ladies and gentlemen, Helen Shivers
I have a name
is
now.
here. I know. Iconic, right?
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Helen was not that sassy. She was sassy, but this was more Sarah Michelle Gellar's character in Cruel Intentions. Like, that's the attitude I got.
Yes. But do you not think it's Danica's interpretation of what Helen was? Because she was a croaker queen. This is what croaker queens act like. I know that Helen Shivers is a croaker queen. It's meant to be in her psyche. Yeah, we get it. Cool. That's the way you
get it too, but that was just.
I have no problems with the content of the scene. Again, I think it was very good. I liked everything that Sarah did. I thought Sarah was great. There's some great acting from Danica here as well. But again, dig deeper, give us actual guts. My biggest thing with this, two things. When she warns her to stay in the dream and stuff like that, we should have had, again, it should have been the original dress, by the way, not that white version of. Because I get it. Danica was wearing a very similar dress to Helen. Yeah, we get it. But Helen should have been wearing that teal dress. What we should have seen when she went from one side of her to the other is we see Helen in beautiful, you know, croaker queen full hair. When she gets over there, crown on, mangled hair, she starts to decompose, which should have been practical effect.
Yes. I agree there.
It would have meant so much more.
Yeah, it should have been her looking all beauty queen, perfect, and then another side, it's like maybe after she got attacked, and then start decomposing.
The haircut, the hair falling out. I liked the blood from the tiara. That was all good. But when the computer animation started, I was like, oh no. This
scene could have been so pivotal.
It was iconic, but it could have been mega iconic. Like, I will never not thank them for doing that, because, you know, we all wanted it. We all
we did.
Helen
we all
Shivers.
wanted Helen, and I'm glad to see Helen, and I liked Helen, but this could have been a real turning point for the movie, and it just missed.
Yeah.
Nostalgia factor 10, movie factor 3.
And I feel like Danica's we should see Danica unraveling more. By the end of the movie, she's quite unraveled, but we should see it more now. I think of her on the boat towards the end when she's like really in like almost catatonic. Yeah. I want to see eye bags. I want to see some physical manifestation of the trauma that you're going through. If you're not sleeping, if you're having these kind of nightmares, show us that somehow.
Yep.
Right. Anyway, we've now got to skip forward to. We're running out of time here because we've got a massive cast, which again we're going to talk about later. We've got a massive cast that we've got to get through. This scene was pretty graphic. We get the little nod. Ryan Felipe got shortchanged in this movie.
Yes, but you know what was funny?
But Barry was an asshole.
Barry was an asshole. And Teddy is not an asshole. He really isn't. No. Teddy is empathetic. He is kind. He cares about his friends. Like, Barry was a jerk. Barry was just
he's the anti-Barry.
He is the anti-Barry. When I'm watching this, and I get what they're doing here, they're toying with him, right?
Yep.
And that makes sense, but it's
Hit
not
the gym, the steam room, that whole thing, you know.
Yeah. But like, it's as much as they're toying with him, it's still not hitting as like cruelly as Milo's death or as the fiance's death. Like, those were filled with, like, you could feel the hate, you could feel the anger
until
no, even then
watching it again, I don't get why he didn't see that fisherman standing in front of that statue.
I get why, because there was a statue.
Yeah,
if you look real quick,
was,
there's a statue right behind it. And
there's a statue, but he's standing in front of the statue, and the statue doesn't match the shape.
But he's also drunk.
This is also a case of movie darkness, maybe.
Yeah, it's movie darkness, but also Teddy's drunk, so Teddy's not seeing things the way Teddy needs to be seeing them.
Teddy kind of fucks shit up a little bit, but Teddy gets fucked up too.
He does, but when they're doing that to him, I don't feel
danger.
I don't feel danger. I don't feel as much anger to it either. Like with Milo, they were pissed. Like you could you felt that rage.
Where we should have got a bit more rage towards Teddy, but I think
more so towards
Grant. Teddy and Grant. Yeah. But what we were getting that again, a bit of a meta moment because him crawling towards the house saying, "Mom,"
felt very Casey. Yes.
Casey Becker, like that's supposed to be Casey Becker, right?
Yes,
to be Casey.
And I got that reference right there.
So the attack, maybe the attack should have been crueler then. So we got how injured he was, how close. Because when he leaves the Fisherman and he's not that injured. Like, we needed to see more stabby.
Right. He's getting the adrenaline going. He's fighting back. Like he's like clearly still moving. He's still got some fight in him.
Yeah. It was a little bit more poignant the second time round when Grant goes to find him and he dies in his arms. I was like, oh, okay, that's really sad, but then we don't get much of a chance because the Fisherman comes and gives him a neck piercing, which again should have been a practical effect.
That's neither here nor there, but like
really cool.
I wanted Grant's death to be. It was too quick. Like this is the person you should really be mad at, and you're not giving me anything.
But I also think again too much story because we should have jumped to that straight to the next day, but we had to go back to the police department for them to get released, for them to go and now find them strung up for the town to see.
And that, to me, that didn't make sense.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
because you're trying to embarrass them. You're trying to embarrass them in their death because they're prominent figures in the town, right? But if you think about who the killer is once we reveal this, right? And what happened, was there any humiliation in this? In their, because to me, you're trying to humiliate Grant and Teddy, and did they really humiliate you? I don't even know if it's humiliation. I think it's more revenge than humiliation. I didn't get revenge. I didn't get that vibe. I got that again. Maybe they humiliate you. But what we said before, it's all there. It's just punctuated wrong, so you don't understand it the way you should. If it was meant to be embarrassment, then show us that. If it's meant to be revenge, show us that. The fact that we can have a different discourse on something that should be very obvious shows me that it wasn't clear in the movie. And I'll touch on why I think it was humiliation once we reveal who the killers are.
Exactly. So, this is when we are, again, pacing's weird. For some reason, now we have to run. But we have to find Milo. Milo's car is nonchalantly there. We find Milo's body very quickly, and they pull her away. It's like I feel like clock's ticking. Mm-hmm. And this is where I was like, "Uh-oh, why are you getting on a boat?"
And to me, if I didn't already know,
if
I didn't already know, I know now.
Why are you taking 3 of our main characters to isolation in the middle of the sea? I'm like,
Also, we didn't touch it before, but when Teddy goes, we should just take the boat and go to the Bahamas, and Ray's just like,
I'll bet you. He's like, I'll tell you, give you exactly good reason not to do that. It's like,
and I liked that. That was funny.
I chuckled at that. Yes.
That's like a real subtle nod to the second movie, and I really enjoyed that. Like,
exactly.
That's it, Ray. That's the way you need to do that humor. That's the way to do it.
That's humor. So this is also when we get, the link to Judah. Really, I don't know why they go for Judah now when they could have gone for Judah earlier. We find Judah's been murdered.
Mm-hmm. And then you see the picture.
And again, spelt out for us, not just shown. Father Judah knew someone else. Sam Cooper, a girlfriend. Dun, dun, dun. Stevie.
Let me tell you how I knew it was Stevie.
Okay, go.
The engagement party.
Yeah?
That gave it away completely for me with Stevie.
What about it?
The complete and total personality change. Because now she was more like Danica. And to me, that's how you act when you're trying to hide something. When you're totally faking it like that. Because that was not genuine. That was not her at all. It's like, oh, Stevie's mad about something. Is she mad about just the fact that they're hiding it? Is she mad that they made her hide it? Like, I suspected Stevie. And this just confirmed it for me. Like, nailed it. Knew it.
Yeah. I do like her. I do like the motivation, though. So I do like that she wasn't completely innocent. So
no.
So Stevie
and they call her out on that.
Yeah, Stevie meets Sam at rehab after her father, runs and her life falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
They both find the church, and when they all went off to see the fireworks, Sam was going to try and save Stevie. I liked that she wasn't innocent in that as well. She dresses it up that she thought they were going to the police. So, but you still said nothing,
right?
So you were guilty. You're still guilty.
Yes,
you're as guilty as everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it was your boyfriend or your friend or whatever, is the motivation for murder. Okay, cool. Radio. She played it well, though.
She did.
I've got to say. She did play. I did like this thing. It's so fucking hot as well. I'm like, yeah, that is hot. That was pretty funny. Fun. It didn't take me out of it either because it's something that we've all been thinking every time. It's like, who would run around in a slicker? It's like, come on, girl. Come on.
But then.
But then, okay, I liked, again, Ray comes to the rescue, as Ray is wont to do.
Ray does.
As Ray is wont to do. Ray shows up on a boat. I like that he showed up on a boat and on a dinghy, like he did in both movies. It's like, Ray, boat boy, is here to save the day. And Ray's whole story with Stevie is that he was looking out for her when her dad died, He was going to make sure that nothing happened to her. And watching it a second time, there's some very obvious moments between them. Yeah, okay. Yep. That makes more sense. That makes more sense on a second viewing. But Ray, out of character. This is my first out of character moment. The fact that after she hooks Danica and throws her overboard, Ray actually shoots her.
Yep, shoots Stevie.
Because Ray is famously bad with a gun.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, maybe Ray's finally stepped up after generations of
that didn't really
being inept.
That didn't really occur to me mostly because Ray's bad with a gun, but Ray could have started going to a shooting range because he's so paranoid about it happening again. That's easily tied together.
Yeah. And I thought, okay, that's the end. Weird. We haven't where's Jennifer? Question mark. I knew that there was more to come, but I didn't pick it. I didn't see it. I admit it. Because the biggest shock, and I think the biggest thing that what I've heard from people is this reveal is fucking annoying some people left, right, and center. Because when Ava rings Julie to let her know that Stevie was the killer, she's back with Ray, she's safe. Julie's little mind clicks over from all her past experience, ties the two together. Because after Ava's trying to leave and go about her life, Ray takes off his jacket, and we see a bandaged arm.
I had Ray pinned before I had Stevie pinned.
Really? Okay.
And I will explain how.
Big swing, though. Big swing. I like it. I like that they did a big swing at it.
His made sense. And
Yeah.
so first one was when Tyler was dying. It's you.
Yeah. It could. Yeah. Exactly.
Because that could have, to me, when that happened, it was either Milo or Ray.
Milo. Yeah. Exactly. I had a moment until they started dying. Sorry to interrupt. Until they started dying, I had a moment to think: are we having a Billy and Stu moment where Teddy and Milo are like lovers and they're killing these girls because like I was like, are we doing some weird like Scream moment? But no, they started dying. It's like okay.
And then there's this moment when he's talking to Stevie, like, you can come to me about anything.
Yeah, and he does say to her, yeah.
Yep, and that's when I started to suspect that maybe it was the two of them because, like, oh, maybe she did come to him.
And he says to her, "You deserve more. You deserve to get out of this more than anyone."
Yep.
He said there are certain interactions where you're like, "Oh, it makes sense."
Yes.
Now, Ray's justification,
I don't
would have made more sense had we seen more of the storyline that we were talking about. We wanted to see. I needed it spelled out that we wanted to erase everything about Southport, everything that happens. Ray, his business, like they should have been trying to take Ray's business away from him, all that kind of stuff. Like it should have been that.
That was another hint at the town meeting where you're erasing my past. And it's like,
yes.
You're angry, babe.
Yeah, but more, and it would have made more sense. You know,
that would have been the more interesting movie, quite honestly.
Psychological. It needed to be more psychological. We needed to see, yes, all of these characters are affected by the trauma that they've experienced. The one person that we're not seeing the effects of the trauma, he even says himself, you don't get over it. It changes you.
Right. And
we're seeing the flashbacks. We're seeing the trauma manifest on everyone else. I needed more, make that the driving force of the movie.
You kind of need to when it's a character like Ray, who is a golden retriever in the two movies and now is a Rottweiler.
But is he really?
Did you really get any kind of evil vibes in those two movies from Ray?
I didn't get evil, but I got inconsequential. And again, I think it's because I've watched these movies back to back very quickly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a TikTok going around with percentage of time on screen for the main cast of the first movie, the first four. He has the least time on scene. Ray disappears for a whole section of the movie. Yeah, Ray's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Ray's just not there. It's Helen and Julie,
mm-hmm.
and Ryan Felipe getting naked in the shower, which we all appreciate. Ray's not there. Ray's a red herring. Ray doesn't know who his father is.
Mm-hmm.
Ray's a fisherman now. Okay, cool. He does save the day at the end of the first movie. Yes, okay. The high school sweethearts fall back together. The second movie, he's really barely in it again and comes to try and save the day. Is that love or is that obsession?
Okay.
Because when you think about it, Julie says to him in the first movie, I don't want to know you. He's the one that's pursuing her constantly. He's the one that's proposing to her. He's the one that will come. I am going to save Julie. I am going to do it. She can't save herself. I'm going to save her. I will be responsible.
I guess it just would have been this transition to killer would have made more sense to me for Barry, because you see how angry Barry is that whole movie, and that would make sense. Barry survived. If the roles were reversed and Barry survived, I would be like, "Yep, it's Barry from the start."
But isn't it more insidious that it's the guy that wanted to save? But it should have been. Yeah, I feel like this could have been again. It's all there. It's just not punctuated right.
It is absolutely. Insidious, and it makes for a good plot twist if it was played
And
up
again,
more.
the Julie Ray of it all, when Julie comes to save the day after Ava's been stabbed. Great stuff. Great stuff between them. Probably the best acting I've ever seen Freddie Prinze Jr. do, because he's not a good actor.
He's not. He's pretty.
He's not.
a good actor.
What? No, he's not a good dramatic actor. He's good in comedy. When he played Fred in, on his sitcom, he was okay. I don't think he's a great dramatic actor, but he was very good in this. I wanted a bit more to and fro from him and Julie.
What are you waiting for?
You had to have it. You had to have it.
I hated it. I'm sorry, I hated it.
But I feel like it would have made more sense if he attacked her first. If they had a little bit of a struggle, and then she's like, "What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?" It's
just too forced. Everything is way too forced in this. It's not. Nothing about it is organic.
I know. And I can only. We'll talk about production at the end of it. I can only assume it comes down to the limited time that they had with Jennifer Love Hewitt. Because we needed a Julie Ray fight scene.
Right.
We needed that. And then it would have justified her. Like, if he's like, "What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?" Yeah, cool. Then he gets speared.
Yes.
But this is where she does her thing. You can tell, and again, it's from the Party of Five of it all. She has conflict. She can portray the fact that she's happy that she survived. She's sad about, like, you see that in her face. She's acting, not showing,
right?
Not speaking. She's showing through her actions.
And then the end. I hate the 4th of July. Yeah, me too. Like that,
fuck the 4th of July.
Yeah,
couldn't agree more.
Yeah, like that was good. I liked that. But Ray says something that the twist here kind of threw me off, because you killed your partner. Did I?
Yeah.
That's not. And whoever washed up, that's not who I was expecting.
Right, exactly. And this is where I think if you would have just ended it there.
Yep.
Stay with me.
I'm with you.
End the movie there. Fuck the 4th of July. Amazing. Ooh, fade out. Exterior shot of the town. Do the whole thingy. Have Danica wash up on the beach as the mid-credits. Okay, cool.
Oh, I like
have her wash up on the beach as the mid-credits, because this end scene is so totally not matching to anything else in the movie. It's like Romeo and Michelle. Like, it's that kind of parody. It's like a parody of a parody.
All of this happened because a man wouldn't go to therapy. Come on, shut the fuck up.
So the fact that a woman was, one of the killers, that's just not a point. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's inappropriate. It's just a jab to be a jab.
And then, like, a little, oh, by the way, Stevie's still alive. We're gonna have to kill her. Totally. The demons are up. It's like, no. Whoever thought that was and that reeks to me of second script. We have to make it punchy. We've got to make it snappy.
But we don't know. But you don't know that Steve. It's insinuated that Stevie could still be alive, but we don't know that for sure.
Because it would have made what comes next even fucking better. Because Jennifer Love Hewitt told us to stick around, and I have heard people that haven't. And this was the icing. If you are looking at it for just nostalgia, this ticks my nostalgia box.
Yep. I need more of this. This is what I need.
Yes.
This is what I need.
Because mid-credits, because we're a Marvel movie now, everything has a mid-credit scene. We see somebody watching a news report about the murders in Southport and the attack on Julie J. There is our lovely Brandy, aka Carla, back.
Loved it.
I think I just keep trying to kill this woman. I didn't need that,
No, I loved that. That was perfect. That was very on character. Very on character.
But if we were going for the darker version, I have a different version. I have a different way. Anyway, we get a show up at the door. Oh my God, who is it? It's Julie James.
Mhm.
Yay. Yay, yay. And then I think, again, too much talking. I didn't need you to apologize. I didn't need all of that. Show up at the door and say, and just go, I really didn't want to do it this way. Hand her the note. See Carla's photo with her face crossed out.
Mhm.
Flip over the photo. It's not over. Okay, whose ass we're going to have to kick? I was
Yes.
hoping you'd say that. End.
Yep, that would have been perfect. But
Right?
mhm. But also, when I was in the theater, someone goes, "Is that Brandy?" And I was like, "You sure as shit is, go Carla!" Like I was ready
Yeah.
for it. But this is what
Yeah.
I need. I need.
This is okay. Yeah. All right. We're there. End of movie.
I need Danica. I need Ava. I need Carla, and I need Julie. I need those to be the main focus of the next movie. And I need you to chill on the Gen Z slang, because that really 100% killed this movie. It took the tone completely out of it. It did not do anything except annoy the shit out of me.
All right. So out of 5 hooks, Katie, how many are we going to give it?
I'm gonna give it 3,
Okay.
maybe 3.5.
Is it better than what you thought you were going to give it at the beginning of the review?
No, I was always pretty set
okay.
on like a 3. 3.5, I think, is being generous, and that
Okay.
I'll give the half point because I really liked the nostalgia points. The half comes from it's tickling my nostalgia spot. That'll be the half point. But the 3, because it's a good movie. It does what it needs to do. But what it gets wrong, it really, 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 really gets wrong. And it's not like, oh, that could have been better, but it doesn't take away from the movie. It takes away from the movie what it gets wrong. Yeah. It absolutely affects the overall viewership of it. I
totally get that.
I care about Ava. I like Danica, but I don't love Danica. Like, I loved Helen. Yeah. I loved Julie. Those were my girls. I cared very much about them. I like Teddy a lot. I like him more than Barry. Milo, you didn't really get to know Milo. So when Milo's dead, you're like, oh, that sucks. Like, you're upset. You're upset for Ava. You're not upset that Milo's dead. You don't know these characters very well. But
and this is the exact reason I went twice. I was like, okay, I have a visceral reaction to what I saw. Yes, nostalgia points. Oh my God, the annoyance of the tone, you know?
Yeah.
That was my big thing. I wanted to go and see it again and concentrate on it to see if there was the core of a good movie there. And there is. It's just the execution. It's that mixing of scripts. It's something that hasn't. It's like it got 3/4 baked, and then it's like, oh, this part's still raw. Just we'll cut that out. We'll hodgepodge it together. Where if they would have taken the time and really dug into it, it could have been a spectacular movie. It's a good movie. I don't hate it at all. Seeing it a second time actually made me like it more. So I'm going to say I'm going to give it 4 for what it could have been, but 3.5 for what I saw, if that makes sense.
Alrighty, I'm so sorry that I actually missed the review because I've been flat bicky working. I'm literally opening my mail at like nearly midnight because that's life for you kids. So, great. Bills. We love them. And so, look, I went to this movie opening night here in Australia. So I know what you did last summer. I just wanted to see it because it's what I grew up with as a kid. I was hesitant though because I kind of feel like the first one is just that perfect amount of cast chemistry, like perfectly shot. There's a perfect build of tension, and it also manages to have very like story driven and character driven stuff happening that normally doesn't really happen in a slasher. A slasher tends to just set up the fodder, bang, 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 and that's it. They're done. But I felt the original film, as we've said in our reviews, really made you care about these characters. It made you care about the mystery of it all. This new one, I think, does a really solid job. I can see where there's a lot of homages to the first one. Do I feel it's as beautifully shot as the first one? Maybe not, especially in some of those tension building scenes, like when we're back in the department store and we've got the mannequins, but they didn't have that ominous feeling that they did in the original, where there's these faceless mannequins, and it was really building that tension. And I felt kind of like at that time, Helen's story arc was that nobody listened to her. She was actually doing everything right that someone should do to survive a horror movie, but it was just she was treated by the public like she was just this hysterical woman, young person that wouldn't be taken seriously.
There's been a murder, and you're gonna fry in hell if you ignore it.
So I think this film, though, does touch on good characters. I don't understand a lot of the random hookups that are happening in airports and stuff, but hey, whatever gets bums in seats, right? But it didn't really make sense to that character. I'm still like, what was that? And I kind of feel like some of the characters were a little bit one note in contrast to the original film and the sequel, I still know. That said, the good stuff. There's some great kills in this. There are some great characters, but I can't not talk about the cameo by Sarah Michelle Gellar. I was not expecting it because she'd sort of gone around saying, oh, look, I'm dead. She never said she wasn't in it, but she kept saying she's dead. And she is correct. The character's dead, but I think they really included her in a very clever way. And I'm glad that a lot of the story from the first movie and some of the second, because our other cameo is Miss Brandy at the end. Who saw that coming? But you know what? I'm all for the next one as well.
Who are we fucking up this time?
Did I enjoy the twist with Ray? Meh. I understood it, and it made sense in context to the story that they were building, and it rang true of the stuff that Julie had been talking about as part of being the lecturer, that trauma can change people. And it does, especially if it's not addressed properly. Like I'm going through trauma right now, opening up bills that are not very fun. But you know what? I will wrap it up there. I'm looking forward to the next one. I give it, I don't know what the rating is. Let's just say Fisherman's Hooks, and it may contrast to Stephen Katie's, or we can, you know, how many mangoes were munched in the airport. I'm giving it 4 out of 5. I feel like overall, I'm probably going to enjoy this film more on a rewatch. I felt like I was taking a lot in, and, you know, a little bit of the nostalgia and the excitement. But that's it, and I'm going to finish answering my mail, or reading my mail. Oh, this one's probably from Steve, because it doesn't even have anything on it. Let's have a squizzy. Very funny, mate. Well, thanks for, you know, leaving stuff in my mailbox when I say no junk mail. But isn't that clever? Doesn't Steve know how to bring it?
What are you waiting for?
Thank you for sticking with us. This has been a big conversation, but
Big.
but we, you know, we are passionate about these things, and we hope that you are too. So let us know what you thought of I Know What You Did Last Summer. Yeah. At the end of the day, after seeing it twice, I ain't mad at it, and I will watch it again. You know, there's enough right with it that I will watch it again. There are some movies that we have reviewed and that I've seen that I could never again.
No,
But
and I definitely
I will watch it again.
I would like to get The Apprentice to watch this and see what he's thinking about. I want to see if he'll say it's cringe, or if
get that younger generation in there.
I need some younger eyes on it that I can trust, and I can trust The Apprentice.
Yes. Well, we've got lots more to talk. We've got lots more to talk about. We are heading back to Derry sooner and sooner and sooner. Katie's going to have to put her big girl pants on, get ready for it.
The other day, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah, we'll get him to chill out before we film it. We might even talk about weapons, because, you know, Barbarian was good.
To talk about weapons, Barbarian was so good, and weapons looks so scary.
All right. Till next time, my friends. Don't get on a boat.
Don't go to
Really?
the Bahamas.
Don't go to the Bahamas. To the Bahamas! We're going to the Bahamas. Keep it creepy, y'all.